Using a teleprompter can be a load of fun. It can be challenging as well. There are certain mistakes we need to avoid, and I'm going to share those with you today. And there's certain ideas to capitalize on whether or not we're making a content video or a promotional video. And of course, I'll talk about how to make a teleprompter rather than buy one. And here's one I made earlier. Hello there, my name is Peter Thomson. I'm the UK's most prolific information product creator, and I've made loads of videos, some fantastic, some okay, and some absolute rubbish. And I had to do them again. There's my system ticking off reminders for me, and we'll see if I can edit that out later, but who knows, I might even leave it in. So let's have a look at teleprompters and some of the ways that we can use them. So first question is, why should we use a teleprompter? Well, I can think of three main reasons why. Firstly, when the information that we're supplying on the video is absolutely critical that we get it right. Then that's important that we can say those things. Secondly, when we don't want to memorize the script. And thirdly, when you don't want to do what I might call a free flow video. In other words, the way that I record most of the videos that you watch of me. I've got my notes here on the table and I refer to them occasionally, but basically I'm gabbling along saying what I need to say because I've got most of it in my head. So those are the three occasions. Now, let me give you an example of that. Here's a picture of me with some of my products. As you can see, there's a lot of them. And one of them, as you can see from that arrow there, is called the Accelerated Business Growth System. In fact, here's one of the boxes from it, the Accelerated Business Growth System. Let me tell you about it, not to buy it, but to give you the information. It was 36 modules of 20 minutes each. And when we supplied it physically in the marketplace, it had 36 DVDs, 36 CDs with the audio track, and 3 massive big workbooks. Now, that was a lot of information for me to do off the top of my head, 12 hours of it. So I worked from a teleprompter. We actually made one at home, me and my eldest son. We made one and we put an old computer in it. This is some years ago, and it really worked well. And I'll tell you more about how to control the speed of what's happening on the teleprompter screen in a moment or two. I'll get back to that in a second or two. But you can imagine trying to do 12 hours of material off the top of your head. I could do it, and I could do it from notes looking down, but I particularly wanted to get it tight to the script that I created. So I'd written it all out, put it into the teleprompter, and I voiced it. So what are the mistakes to avoid? Well, the first one is not using a teleprompter. Because if you don't feel confident about being able to say what you want to say, and certainly as we talked about last time, without any stutters and ums and ers and filler words which rob what you say of power and persuasion and purposefulness, well, there's a lovely word to throw in as the third one, then if you're not comfortable doing that, then it's a good idea to use the teleprompter. And these days, software is just so fantastic that's available for teleprompter stuff. So I'm going to share some of that with you as well. So that's the first time if you're not comfortable about doing that. One of the mistakes also is having too many words on the screen. Let me just show you this for a moment or two. And I've got a screen in front of me so I can see what you're looking at. And you can see it says there, hello, my name is Peter Thomson, right? So you can see that the words are pretty big on that screen. One of the mistakes made from teleprompters is having too many words on the screen, and this is what happens. Watch my eyes. You can see what's happening. I move my head slightly to pick up these imaginary extra words, so that's not a good idea. And the other mistake that people make when not having a teleprompter is they put their iPad, their phone, the script, whatever it might be, their notes, to the side of the camera. And they either refer to the notes like this, which isn't bad occasionally if you're looking around and you're doing what you do and you're talking to the camera. It's natural to look away. Now, the thing is, when I look away and focus, you'll see the difference. Let me do it for you. Right, now, I exaggerated it slightly, but you understand that different look. Now, if I actually put the script below the camera, above the camera, or either side of the camera, the eye line will be wrong. It's necessary to look straight through the lens and talk to that one person who's listening to you at the moment in the way that you're listening to me and seeing me at the moment. But watch if I did this. Let's imagine I had a script to the side of the camera and I was reading the script there and trying to make out that I was actually talking to you straight through the lens. But in fact, because my eye line's wrong, it looks weird. Agreed? So here I am back. Or if I look there slightly off center, or look slightly above, or even slightly down. And I've seen people who filmed using the eyesight camera of their Mac or a webcam at the top of the screen, and they've had the words on the screen, and this is what it looks like. It's as though I'm talking along, I'm reading the script, and I'm nearly in the eye line, but I haven't got it quite right, and it doesn't look right at all. Far better to be straight through the lens. So those are the big problems. Here's another problem. How do you control the speed of the words? Now, you can do a number of things. Number one, you can have it auto-scrolling so that the words are scrolling up at a certain pace that you've set because you feel, and I'm slowing down slightly now, that the words are at the right pace for you to deliver your material. The problem with that is that unless you take a lot of practice time, you'll find that you're reading all of the words at about the same pace all the way through. And if, for example, you're going to be doing 20 minutes of speaking and it's all going to be at the same pace, in the same way that I'm doing, even I'm falling asleep now, so it just doesn't work. So you can do it on auto scroll. However, you've got to be prepared to speak a little bit more quickly occasionally and do things with it, or prepared to slow down and wait for the scroll and then have to catch up. So it's possible. It really is possible. So that's one way to do that. The second way is to have it voice activated. And that way you can do it. There's prompt software out there these days. I know particularly one called, I think it's called Smart Prompt. I'll have a look at my system and set, and I'll put it on the bottom of the screen if I've got the words wrong. And that's great because what happens there is it's voice activated, and therefore, as you're speaking it, voice recognition software is picking up the voice, understanding the words, and it's moving it up into the sweet spot of where you should be looking straight through the glass where the words are to the camera lens. So that's good as well. And the third one, it can be self-activated in the sense you can be controlling it either from your phone. So if you've got, for example, your script, as I've got a script there, as you can see, it's obviously backwards at the moment, but you can see I've got a script there, and I could control, that's on my iPad, and I could actually control it with my phone. So there's another way to do it. And the way that I did it originally, when I did the Accelerated Business Growth System, I had an old controller, a variable resistor controller from an old Atari set, and I had it strapped to my leg with an elastic band, and I could control the speed out with my hand out of shot. So I was controlling the speed of the camera. So if I wanted to speed it up or if I wanted to slow it down, I could do that as well. Funny, isn't it? When I speed up, my voice goes higher, and when I slow down, my voice goes lower. So it is possible to do that. It's really powerful, really useful. Let me give you a little technique. And this technique is unknown by most people. And you can use this when you're either creating a PowerPoint or keynote presentation where you're not on screen, but you're reading from a script, or when you're reading a script through the teleprompter. And what I would suggest you do is this, is you use what I call spoken punctuation. So it's a good idea perhaps to italicize the words you're going to smile through, to embolden the words you're going to make a very serious point, or underline them when you want to lift your voice slightly, or any system that you devise for yourself. Maybe even putting colour in there when you want to pause and make a dramatic point. So if you use that, what I call spoken punctuation, then that really helps you when you come to actually voice it. Now, how do you make a teleprompter? Well, you can buy one these days, of course, from around £100 to about £300. And that's what the sort of price that I was looking on Amazon for you today, just to check them out. And you want to make sure there's some great reviews on some of them. I see some terrible reviews on some of them. Obviously, you can put the words on, in fact, it was called Prompter, the one, and the other one is called, oh, that's the one where you actually, as you're talking, I wonder if I can make that work. What we're doing this. As you're talking, the words actually go round. This doesn't seem to be doing it at the moment. Perhaps it's trying to start. I'll just wait and see for a moment or two and just be looking in the lens. I'm wondering if it will actually get going in a minute. It may be that it was a starter program. I was practicing with this morning and it did work along. So I could just say the words, and the teleprompter software, it actually will move it on. Now, the prompter itself actually is very simple. Here it is. It's a big plastic box, a typical sort of box. You see the sort of size of it. You might wonder what that hole in the back is with a sock stuck in it. Well, to start with, here as you can see, is a piece of angled glass, and it's at a 45-degree angle. The inside of this plastic box I've coated just with black plastic tape, I've taped this in. I mean, it's nice and easy. It actually will come out if I wanted it to. I've only just taped it in. It doesn't need to be anything particularly special. The iPad sits here at the bottom, so it reflects onto the glass up there, so you can see. You can see it's reflected up there. And then the key bit in the back of the box, I cut a hole. There's a hole in there. And I put an old golfing sock in there. And then the camera, imagine my hand was a camera, the camera fits in the sock. There, let me lift up a bit. And so when it's that way round, you can see my fingers, that would be the camera lens sticking through. And so what's happening is you're looking through the glass to the camera lens there. And what you're doing is you're reading the words off the glass. Absolutely brilliant. Now, you see, as I see, politicians using teleprompters, and what they tend to do is have that angled glass ones and have one there and one there. And some of them who are not very good at it do this. They talk off that particular one, then they look at that one, then they look at that one, stay there a moment, look at that one, but they never do this. Look at that one, look to the audience in the middle, look back, look around, look to that one. They only are ever reading it because they're so concerned they don't go off message. So, if you've got any thoughts, any comments whatsoever about this, then by all means put them down in the comments section there, and we can start a dialogue, or I'll answer any questions for you. And on the next video, we're going to get more into how to write, create, and market your own informational products, including books, and all the various ways that you can turn your knowledge, experience, and expertise into ongoing streams of cash. So, I've enjoyed putting this one together for you. It's a bit chaotic today, but you've got the idea of it. And if you've got any questions, do come back to me. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Then click to watch the next video. Remember to visit our website at peterthomson.com and download your free copy of my latest book, How to Write Your Business Book in 5 days or less. Until next time, every success.